With Eevee week just around the corner, which area should you go to if you want to maximize your Eevee spawn count? In my Eevee week info video, we talked a lot about the evolutions and which area to go to. But what we haven't yet done is to look at the actual numbers. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video, it's Brovini here. We qualitatively said if you're after more Eevees because only Eevees are getting a shiny boosted chance to go to an area with the least evolutions spawning because the evolutions will crowd out your Eevees. And the main area to avoid if you want to avoid evolutions would be Taupe Hollow because there's 3 different evolutions that can spawn there, the most of all the areas besides Greengrass Isle. But of course, Greengrass Isle also has a lot of other sleep styles that can spawn as a result, also crowding out the Eevee. So the 2 main areas to avoid if you're trying to maximize your shiny chance for Eevee would be Greengrass and Taupe Hollow. But what of the remaining 4 areas? Once again, if we're trying to maximize Eevee count, we may want to avoid Lakeside as there are 2 evolutions there. That leaves us with Cyan Beach, Snowdrop Tundra, and Old Gold Power Plant, with only 1 evolution each. If our team building were exactly the same for all 3 areas, able to achieve the exact same drowsy power, of course that's probably not true for OGPP because the area bonus would likely be lower than all the other areas, but besides that, let's hold everything else constant. Let's say you can achieve the same drowsy power across all areas. Which area naturally gives you the most Eevee spawn count? We will be using the premium feature in RainaNX Calculator. We're not hunting a specific sleep style, so we're not using sleep style sniper. But if you're after a specific sleep style, for example, to complete your sleep style decks, then you may want to use this one. What we want is, irrespective of the sleep style, we want to know how likely Eevee is to spawn as a species, so any sleep style will count under Pokemon Sniper. And in Pokemon Sniper, we're going to put in Eevee as the species we're hunting for. I'm arbitrarily choosing 3 million as the Snorlax strength, and I'm going to assume 1 sleep per day. Of course, you can do 2 sleeps a day and calculate the spawn count for Eevee for all 5 areas up to 3 million Snorlax strength, assuming the Snorlax strength is combined with 100% sleep score. As usual, this takes quite some time for the simulations to happen, so we're gonna wait for the simulations to complete in order to see the expected count for Eevee. Each of these lines represent an area. This is under normal conditions, there are no boosted spawns here at all. You can see that naturally Greengrass has the least Eevee spawn count. And the main reason is there are just way too many other sleep styles that can spawn at Greengrass, crowding out the Eevee that you're hunting for. So here we can see the calculations are almost done. And what's also come to light is that this gray line here, the second lowest line, by the way, the y-axis represents how likely Eevee is to spawn. So the lower the line, the less likely Eevee is to spawn. With Taupe Hollow in the gray line here being the second worst just after Greengrass at Eevee spawns. Not only that though, during the event, Taupe Hollow has 3 evolutions also competing for those Eevee spots. So if you're hunting for Eevee, you should avoid Taupe Hollow because of its naturally low spawn rate anyway. The good thing about Taupe Hollow is that with 3 different evolutions, you're more likely to see any evolution to appear, and it will allow you to farm more Eevee candies. At the highest peak here is Old Gold Power Plant with an expected 0.85 Eevee per session at about 350,000 strength. So assuming that you can achieve the same strength in all areas, Old Gold Power Plant has the highest Eevee count, but only at its peak, because if you follow this chart, you can see that it at some point tapers below the yellow line, which is Cyan Beach. It does peak again, but then quickly tapers off to fall below Snowdrop Tundra, which is the light blue line here. So as the week goes by, your drowsy power keeps getting higher and higher, Snowdrop Tundra is where Eevee will spawn the most. But due to the fluctuations between Old Gold Power Plant, Cyan Beach, and Snowdrop Tundra, to me they're about equal in their Eevee spawn count. I haven't mentioned Lakeside, but it's this grayish line here. But don't forget that Lakeside has 2 evolutions crowding out Eevee during the event. So this chart is just about natural spawn rate of Eevee when there's no event bonuses. So to put it all back into context, assuming you have the same area bonus in all areas, and probably you don't at OGPP, but if you do, and you have the same team build, same power, and you have approximately equal strength team building in all areas, Old Gold Power Plant will have the most Eevee count at a sweet spot, but it gets overtaken by Cyan Beach for a little bit as your drowsy power goes up, and then long term throughout the week, when your drowsy power gets really high, Snowdrop Tundra has the highest Eevee spawn count. Hopefully that has helped you guys decide which area to go to for this event. Don't forget that you should try to get snoozing sleep type for even greater chances of seeing Eevee. Thank you for watching guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.